I'm going to go back to that story we were talking about at the top of the newscast. Cincinnati has nearly double the number of domestic violence homicides so far this year than it had in all of last year.
As David Winter reports, the statistics only tell part of the story.
You are watching Domestic Violence as It Happens, surveillance video capturing the beating Brenda Luper took in June 2019.
You shouldn't even beat a dog, but yet I was beaten like a dog.
Brenda survived to talk to us today about her ordeal, but she was nearly a statistic, showing us 2 years ago where a bullet came through the bathroom door where she had taken refuge.
The bullet missed me by inches. I can remember it like it just happened yesterday. It was right over my shoulder.
But not everyone was as fortunate as Brenda. That year, 3 people were killed in Cincinnati domestic violence cases. That number jumped to 5 last year. This year, we're nearly double that halfway into July. Is CPD doing anything right now to put extra focus on domestic violence?
CPD does its part with domestic violence. It absolutely does its part. These officers do a fantastic job of responding. Again, there's state law that requires once there's probable cause, an officer will arrest, and they are doing that job.
And the stats bear that out. CPD has increased its arrests every year, oddly enough, until 2020. Domestic violence experts tell us there were fewer domestic violence instances reported to police during the pandemic because the places where they're usually detected, like hospitals, schools, and jobs, were less accessible.
We have an epidemic going on. We have an epidemic of violence.
Women Helping Women's CEO.
Is there something else that organizations like yours can do? Maybe to educate young boys so they know how to treat women when they get older?
So really good questions.
Shrimplin says her organization is in just 4 Cincinnati public schools teaching children about domestic violence and needs to be in more.
If we want to end the fire that is raging, then we have to prevent the fire from ever starting.
Brenda says victims need to be educated as well.
They need to just go. Waiting is not the answer. When you wait, that's when the death comes.
David Winter, Local 12 News.
A judge in October sentenced Brenda Luper's attacker to 22 years in prison, as we said. And again, you can find phone numbers to domestic abuse hotlines on our website in the Get It Now links.
With yet another violent incident at Kings Island, 1 man and 1 teen are facing assault charges after a fight inside the park.
Local 12's Christian Hauser spoke with the park and a family member of one of the victims. He is here now with what they had to say. Christian, good evening.
Good evening, Paula and Kyle. The family tells me that the kids don't know why they were targeted. This started off as a fun day on Sunday for the 3 kids between 12 and 14 years old, 2 girls and a boy. Now, while they were waiting to get on delirium, they say 2 people they didn't know came up to them and started calling them names and even threatening them. Now, one of the suspects is Emmanuel Rowe, who police say is 20 years old. The other is a 14-year-old teen. Now, the 3 kids walked away at the first incident, but a short time later, they ran into the 2 again. Now, that's when Mason police say Rowe and the boy attacked the 3. Eventually, a nearby man got involved and broke up the fight. Now, the groups did split up, and while police and park security were talking to the 3 victims, they say the other 2 suspects came back to the area. Now, those suspects were taken to first aid. They had some bumps and some scrapes, and then they were questioned. Now, they're both charged with 3 counts of assault. The family tells me that Kings Island security did not know about the fight until they actually alerted them. I talked with the mom of one of the kids about what happened.
Kings Island gonna have to get a hold of this, or Kings Island gonna lose a lot of money. Kings Island gonna be fighting a whole bunch of lawsuits, because at this point you have to protect those on your premise. You're gonna have to figure this out completely. Ain't no way a kid should have to come to a place where they shouldn't think about nothing but fun and roller coasters, but instead getting worried about getting jumped and bullied by strangers, people that they've never seen in their lives.
Now, this isn't the first incident we've heard about this year at the park. Now, I reached out to Kings Island to see what it had to say about this incident. Park spokesman Chad Showalter sent me the following statement that says in part, "The park security team and Mason police immediately responded to the scene and quickly addressed the situation. The same individuals were banned from Kings Island for a period of 5 years. Showalter's talking about the 2 people charged in the fight. He goes on to say the safety and security of our guests and associates is always our highest priority, and those who engage in this type of behavior will be held accountable. Now, the family says that the kids are still suffering from the attack, both physically and mentally. Emmanuel Rowe is being charged in Mason City Court. The other suspect is being handled in the Warren County Juvenile Court. Paula, back to you.
Christian, thank you. And again, this is at least the 3rd incident at the park. In May, a fight led to the park closing early, and last month a fight started in the drop-off pickup area. After that last fight, the park says it increased safety measures, but didn't say exactly what was included in that.
Welcome back. Anderson Township and the city of Cincinnati are working on plans for a new full-time entertainment district. Take a look. This is Skyview 12 video here, and it shows the area we're talking about. It's right along Kellogg Avenue at I-275. Local 12's James Pilcher joins us live with a little bit more about this proposal. James, very interesting because, yes, it's sort of, there are some entertainment attractions there, but it's not necessarily a district. This would sort of clump everything together.
Exactly, Adam. So you can actually see some of those attractions here. We've got Riverbend Music Center. The mainstay has been here for a long time. The newcomer, Belterra Park, the casino, as well as the longtime racetrack. And just down the street here, of course, is Coney Island. Now, Anderson officials, like you said, Anderson Township officials and the city of Cincinnati want to turn this entire stretch of Kellogg Avenue into an entire entertainment district and give the whole area a major facelift. And I can tell you, there's one restaurant owner down the way here who's very excited about the possibilities.
Tom Zins bought this historic property just east of Belterra Park and opened the Grove Park Grill 5 years ago. But the new improvements planned for Kellogg Avenue have him wanting to invest even more.
We're 100% all in. We think the township and the city have gotten the ball rolling. We're certainly willing to invest, and we've got a lot of skin in the game and continue to put money back into the business.
Anderson Township released the new proposed changes earlier this month. The call for new signage, beautification, and a possible welcome center, and even more walkability. The goal is to make the area a one-stop destination. There's no final price tag yet. Township Trustee Board President Josh Girth says it could cost hundreds of thousands or even millions of dollars. He's hoping the township can use TIF financing and get other state grants, and that improvements can be seen starting next year.
This is the front doorstep to Anderson Township. There has been a lot of investment down here from private businesses, and both big and small, and we felt that it was time to make some improvements, some enhancement on the infrastructure.
Riverbend General Manager Matt Dunn also is excited about the project and what it will mean to the area.
I think making it a destination is definitely the goal, and I believe that there are plenty of places to do exactly what you said. Come down there, go eat, come to the concert, or go to the concert, go eat, spend some time. There's restaurants, there's new restaurants, there's around that area.
Long-term plans call for more restaurants and possibly even a hotel.
Yeah, Anderson has long needed, we actually tore down a 22-room motel behind the restaurant, and there's really been no backfilling of that space.
Now, I did talk to officials with the city of Cincinnati. They are completely on board with this plan, but they're not putting any of the city's public dollars into it. It's coming from Anderson Township, but the city will have a lot of say into the permitting and the approval process, especially across the city line down the way in the California neighborhood. Live in Anderson Township, James Pilcher, Local 12 News.
All right, James, thank you for that update. Now, there's a meeting set for August 3rd to get public input on the plan. You can find details on that, plus links to the full proposal in this story at local12.com.